So, let's talk about the Steam controller. Unfortunately, launching in 2015, the Steam controller was Valve's answer to regular old gamepads. Let's take, say, Nintendo's Pro Controller for instance. Normally you get a D-pad, 2 analog sticks, 2 shoulder buttons, 2 triggers, and your ABXY buttons and such, and just about every controller follows some variant of this, but the Steam controller strays maybe just a bit too far. Rather than one D-pad and directional sticks, the Steam pad has a single analog stick and these 2 touchpad thingies. They're not unlike the touchpad on a laptop, much like my own, but here's the thing. I don't use that touchpad. It's been disabled since the day I got my mouse, and I haven't re-enabled it since. So, and while it does have the ABXY configuration, they're in the Xbox configuration, which I do not like. No sir. It frustrates me that this configuration became the norm, seeing as it was dreamed up by a Sega executive just making sure Nintendo players had a hard time using the Dreamcast controller. The controller has the shoulder buttons and the triggers, but it also additionally features these grip buttons, these big wide pads right where your fingers sit in the back that you can click in. It's just a piece of plastic hitting internal switches. And speaking of internals, while the Steam pad has a micro USB port for plugging it in, it runs off a couple AA batteries. I don't know. But that's enough about the Steam controller itself. Let's see just how useful this thing is for Payday 2. For this video, I'll be going with my Dodge Yzma build, and we'll be playing solo. I was gonna play on Mayhem, but I figured that since, spoiler alert, this thing's controls make me feel like my hands don't work, I would just play on Overkill. I will be using the default control scheme for this first clip. By default, Payday 2 sees a Steam pad as any other gamepad, namely the Xbox 360 one. I do kind of wish they had updated this icon to a bit more recent controller, seeing how the 360's gamepad came out 12 years ago. And 12 years before that, using a gamepad on a computer required plugging it into your game port on the back of the tower, and usually meant you had some flight stick or some lame lopsided joystick thingy. Hey, wait, what? So I click it to melee. I tap down at the control stick to deploy bipod. This is bad. This is bad. We're gonna play a quick, I don't know what you call it, control. We're gonna do a control. You know what? Yeah, let's do a mayhem mission. Let's do an overkill mission. Let's start with an overkill and then we'll move up to mayhem. Why is it giving me vehicle controls? So what are my controls? That's... Oh, it is the control stick. Oh my god! Ooh, that is disgusting. Oh my god. There's a camera acceleration. Hey, put the bullet on. Gun. That feels good. Okay, I found run. I need key from Chavez. Ooh, how do I switch weapons? Gotta learn that fast. Okay, and then gadget was down. Oh, this is so slippery. Oh, this is what I imagine it's like to walk with shoes made of olive oil. I can't even get into the door. Oh, jeez, my headset. I don't need sound. This is an easy way to make you feel pathetic and bad at video games. Oh, the sniper segment! Oh, this is a test of my patience now. So, yeah. Out of the box, the Steam pad doesn't work well enough to play the game properly. The right touchpad is incredibly slippery, and the controls are all over the place. I legitimately had a hard time playing this heist on Overkill. Also, the battery in my camera died, that's why I stopped where I did. The grip buttons feel pretty nice, though. I like those. So, what I did was I went on the Steam controller settings and downloaded the most popular configuration and tweaked it just a little bit. That's one of the cooler things about the Steam pad is that you can download custom configurations if you don't like how it feels otherwise. The issue with that is the game stops responding to it as a gamepad and instead asks for keyboard inputs, which to say the least is a bit annoying. I don't remember what F is. I know what the X button is. I don't know what key X is. But with this setup, aiming down the sights activates the gyroscope in the gamepad, and that feels really great, honestly. It feels just like how it is on the Nintendo consoles. My grips are melee and reload, respectively, but I began realizing partway through this video that I was missing key controls. But a lot of that's probably because of the game. There's a lot of buttons to work Payday 2. It's like a farming simulator in that regard. But I did it. I beat this heist and even cleared the floor tile puzzle. Now let's go try this out on a Death Wish pub. No, I'm not an idiot. The Steam controller is a nifty piece of hardware, but you'd be hard-pressed to find an actual game that takes full advantage of it without becoming clunky. This was more of an experimental, hey, how well does this thing work? Video, and the answer is it doesn't work very well. My final verdict on Payday 2 with the Steam Pad is just play this game with a keyboard and mouse. There's really not much more to say about this thing. I wouldn't say I regret purchasing it because I do like the control stick and the buttons. Those grip buttons feel amazing. More games should take advantage of them. I would say, though, it hasn't fully been worth the money, but I don't hate the thing. It was a decent concept from Valve, and with some improvement I could see it being better. Probably don't need the touchpads though. Well, I hope I entertained, kind of confirmed what you all thought. I don't know, and until next time, I'll see you around. This was an unmitigated disaster! If you like this video and you'd like to see more, I'd recommend subscribing. Patreon and social media links are in the description.